But we start today at one of the top talking points, of course, Prince Harry. Now, he's facing a bit of a backlash after asking for a review of the Home Office decision not to allow him to pay for police protection when he visits the UK, along with his wife Meghan and his children. So is he right to be unhappy with the decision, Kelly? I mean, he did leave. He did say he didn't want any royal duties. They were stepping away. They wanted privacy. So is it right that when he does want to come back to the UK, that he then wants the protection that is afforded to other royals?
Well, I think what you said was that he's stepping away, but he never actually gets to step away. If he got to step away and become Joe Bloggs, then fair enough, but he doesn't. He's got a really young family to look after, and he's got the history of what happened to his mum. And as we know that, you know, some of that was caused by paparazzi chasing her. So he's got all of those things to deal with. And also, the threat that his family is under is not just the usual, which is bad enough as it is. But, you know, he's dealing with, a Nazi threat, which is about racism. And that's, I think it kind of changes how he feels about it. He's got to be that protector of his family, and he's saying he's going to pay for it. So it's not like he's asking us UK citizens to pay for it. He's saying he's going to pay for it. So I think that's fair enough.
When I first saw this, Jane, my first reaction was, no, you can't, you can't have it both ways. You can't step away from royal duties and do nothing for the royal family and then say, oh, but when I come back, I'd like to have that same protection. But then when I read that he's offering to pay for the security, I had a slightly different view. It's like, well, why does that matter then? If he's just saying, I'll bring my own security with me, but whilst here, could we maybe use the Metropolitan Police and the intelligence that's afforded to other royals, former prime ministers, etc., to help kind of protect my family?
Yeah, I'm with Ken Worth on this one. So Ken Worth is a former Royal Protection Officer who looked after Princess Diana when I was on the Diana and Charles beat, if you like. And had many dealings with Ken, and he was a lovely, lovely guy and very, philosophical, common sense. And he said today, police protection should not be for sale. And he's right. These are highly trained Metropolitan Police officers, and if you sell their services to Prince Harry, if you like, that he's going to pay for it, then every celebrity that comes over from America could say, well, I want to pay for that police protection.
But what?
Because it's not something that you access unless you are a working royal. So, for example, the only people that get 24/7 royal protection are the Queen, Prince Charles and Camilla, William and Kate. So even Princess Anne, the Queen's daughter, does not get... She gets it when she's doing official duties, which Harry is not doing. He made the decision to become a private citizen and to live abroad. Now, when he came over for Prince Philip's funeral, he did get that protection because there was deemed to be, it could be a terrorist flashpoint, the state funeral of a member of the royal family. When he came over for the unveiling of his mother's statue, he didn't get it because there's this sort of very top secret body called RAVEC, and it means Royal and VIP Executive Committee, and it is their decision. So they look at every situation and decide whether or not there is a level of threat that warrants...
But do you not think that panel could be biased in some way, shape or form?
No, because Eugenie and Beatrice don't get it.
I understand that,
and they are the Queen's grandchildren, and they live in this country.
He's actually saying he's going to pay for it. So he's not saying, he's not coming in saying...
No, but they would, but you don't, because it's the police. It's not like a private security firm.
OK, but what choice does he have, right? He's got a family that he feels vulnerable with. If he pays for his own security to come with him, they don't have access to the intelligence that the police have access to.
But
because if the intelligence, if the security services have intelligence that when Harry is over here and there is a threat, he will get that protection. But if they deem it to not be a threat, he won't get that protection.
So he's got to bring his own security.
Yeah, so
and
why
then
doesn't he do that?
if there was a threat
not saying
that the Metropolitan Police knew about, then his security would be informed.
Yeah, I mean,
so why doesn't he just do that then? What's all the hoo-ha about?
I mean, Zara Tindall walks around without protection.
Well, here's the thing for me, whether he said, I don't want to be part of the royal thing anymore and I want a private life and all, he is, whether he likes it or not, when he comes over, he's the most talked about royal ever at the moment, and so is his wife. So he's always going to be part of it. And I would hate hate anything bad to happen to him.
No,
And I
but you have to
understand his fear of
separate.
it.
You have to separate what is a perceived threat of violence to your person, like in a terrorist incident, and paparazzi attention. The two things are not the same. Paparazzi attention is incredibly annoying, etc. But a private security guard can deal with that.
But they're dealing with both.
But you can't have state-funded police protection officers.
But James, they're dealing with both. They're dealing with paparazzi attention, and they're also dealing with safety of their children and their family. Remember, they are hated in this country.
But where is the real threat?
There's a good percentage of the population
something the security services don't know?
I don't know something that the security services don't know, and it's their job to assess the situation.
I don't think it's fair to say they're hated in this country.
I'm really sorry, but there is a
quite a bold statement that they're hated here. I don't think so.
I'm not saying everybody, and I said there are some people. There's a certain population, certain, I would say, demographic of your population that feel umbrage towards them. Feel like
he did have death threats. Didn't he?
He's had death threats. He's had all kinds of threats against him and his family. So for me, he's dealing with both sides of it, not just paparazzi.
But celebrities get death threats, but they pay for their own security.
He's not saying he's not. He's saying he is going to pay for it.
No, they pay for their own private. They don't use state-funded royal protection officers. That's the difference.
But he's not using the state's money to pay for it. That's not what he's saying.
Do you think... And it's very unfortunate, I thought, unfortunate timing that, you know, as the Queen is now coping with all the allegations, you know, against Prince Andrew, which obviously he denies.
Who, by the way, also doesn't have that protection.
Yeah.
Prince Andrew had it taken away when he stepped down from royal duty.
And now he's got... they're saying they're threatening to go to the High Court if his family are not provided with security while they're here in Britain. I think just another thing for the Queen to have to deal with. In her
my only thing against him is just do something quietly. Sort out your security. Stop saying going to court. It's very American, all this. I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, we asked you, what you thought. We love to know what you think about these things. 55% of you say yes, you think he should be allowed to pay for police protection. 45 of you know. Thank you very much for joining in with that.